Hey, what's up guys, Z here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the KZ ZSAs. So these are another pair of earphones that were sent out to me by Linsoul Tech, and I will have links to their Amazon page for this product in the description below, in case you were interested in checking these out for yourself. Alright, so let's get straight to it and talk about the sound on these ZSAs. So first of all, the highs are nice and detailed. They're definitely a brighter sounding pair of earphones. But now when it comes to the mids, they are recessed. You're not going to get such great mids, and for that matter, you won't get the best soundstage. Now when it comes to the bass, it is a booming bass, but unfortunately, it's not very immersive. I don't really know how to explain it, but if you hear these, you'll kind of understand what I'm talking about. I think this has to do with the fact that the sub bass on these is also a little bit recessed. Now don't get me wrong, these don't sound bad, it's just that I'm comparing them to some of the other KZ earphones in this same price category. So for example, the KZ ZSTs, which are very similar in price to these, they sound a lot better, they are more immersive, as well as the ES3s. Those also sound better than these, in my opinion, that is. But with that said, these ZSAs definitely trump the ZSTs when it comes to design and build quality. As you can tell, these have a very premium look and feel to it, especially with the aluminum housings. So again, these don't sound bad per se, but they're just not up there with the other KZ earphones that I've listened to in the same price range. And so you know, these are dual driver earphones. You have one balanced armature driver in the front and one dynamic driver in the back. So I have this theory, and hear me out for a second. Basically, aluminum is known to be a better sound conductor than plastic, but I think that plastic carries bass better than aluminum. Now obviously I don't know how to prove this, but I'm holding to this point based on some of the aluminum housing earphones that I've used compared to the plastic earphones. I think plastic carries bass better. Again, I don't know how to prove this, I'm just going to hold with this as it's a theory, a speculation if you will. Now moving on to the design and the build quality of these earphones. So as you can tell, these do look very premium. They've got aluminum housing shells, and they also ship out with a copper braided cable, something that some of the later KZ earphones are shipping out with. I actually really do approve of this. I'm a huge fan of this cable over the regular sticky KZ cable, so I'm happy they're changing this up. So again, you've got aluminum shells, and as you can see on the shells, you've got these 3 Torx screws, and then you've got the 3 vents. Now I did want to open these up to show you guys what's inside, but unfortunately I don't have the proper Torx screwdrivers for this. Now if you take a look at the sound chambers, they are covered by these metal grills. And then lastly, you've got the 2-pin port KZ connectors that uses the curved style cable as opposed to the straight styled cable that some of the other KZ earphones use. Now the ear tips that I have on these are from another pair of earphones, because the ear tips that KZ ships out with these earphones are just like the other ear tips that KZ ships out with their other earphones, and they're just not very good, so I don't even bother using them. And as a general rule of thumb, you always want to make sure that you're using a good pair of ear tips that seal your ears properly. Otherwise, you're not going to hear the bass or some of the other frequencies the way that they're meant to be heard. So again, make sure you're using a good pair of ear tips regardless of whichever earphones that you plan on using. Now, let's move on to comfort and fit. So a side-by-side comparison with these ZSAs and a pair of Apple AirPods will show you just how tiny these ZSAs actually are. Now the fact that they are tiny doesn't bother me, it's the fact that they just don't really hold into my ears. So if I put them in my ears, you guys can see how much room there is around there, and there's really nothing to hold on to, and therefore they do constantly fall out of my ear canals. Not my ears per se, because the ear hooks are holding on to my ears, but again, other than that, there's nothing really holding them within my ear canals, so these tend to fall out of there quite a bit. But then again, I do have larger than average ear canals and larger than average ears, so these might not fit me, but they might fit you if you have smaller ears. So for the fit, I'm going to have to say below average. In terms of comfort, I don't feel these irritating my ears, so I'm gonna have to say that these are fine in that area. So to conclude this review, there are better sounding KZ earphones in this price range, but on the upside, these ZSAs are the most premium looking from the rest of the KZ earphones in this price range. So if you're into more aesthetics than you are sound, and you do have smaller ears, then these might be perfect for you. Anyway, that's going to be it for my review on the KZ ZSAs. Hopefully this video or this review did help you out. If it did, please do leave a like. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side.